Hello, everyone. Welcome to Service at Countryside. I'm Jerome McDonald, a member of the Board of Trustees, and we have these brief announcements. One of them has to do with Chalice House. Who's moving into Chalice House? We don't know yet, but we know that very soon, possibly a family from Central or South America is coming, and we have a question. Do you speak Spanish or another foreign language? If so, would you be willing to serve as a mentor or translator resource? If you're interested, and this sounds like you, Chalice House at ccu.com. Let us know about your abilities. We'll get back to you with more information. There is no children's youth choir rehearsal today. Rehearsals will resume next Sunday. It is important to know that next Sunday there will be an evacuation drill at the end of worship. We'll hold a building evacuation drill to ensure that we know what to do in case of emergency. So further, there's some instructions in the blue sheet that are telling you more about this, and we should all be aware that there will be an evacuation drill next Sunday. Also, Music with a Mission is taking place on Saturday, November 12th. It's a night of music, merriment, and benefit to our service partners, and it is really a lot of fun. And it's an opportunity for us to bring our friends and bring a lot of people into the church that maybe don't normally come. And it's Saturday, November 12th from 7 to 10 p.m., beer, wine, snacks, and a whole lot of fun. And I think everybody is up for a whole lot of fun. That's our announcements for this morning. Enjoy service at Countryside.
One last announcement. For those of us who were at the memorial service yesterday for Austin Chang, someone at that event has since tested positive for COVID. So we advise, if you were with us yesterday, to wear a mask this morning. Thank you. There are masks by the front door. And actually, maybe Lisa could bring some to you. Good morning, I am Mary Sheldon. I am your Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm reading A Call to Worship by Patricia Sheldon. We might be related. We spell our names the same way, I don't know. In this hour of holy stillness, we gather to honor the lives and the people we love. In this hour of holy stillness, we remind ourselves that the flames of life and love are never fully extinguished. In this hour of holy stillness, we offer ourselves for sharing the weight of each other's grief. In this hour of holy stillness, we offer the strength of our love to help others survive their pain and grief. In this hour of holy stillness, we call forth from each of us the power we offer out of life, out of loss, out of love. We welcome you.
Hi, my name is Lois Phillips, and my pronouns are she, her. For our chalice lighting today, we have United by Story and Bound by Love by Andrea Hawkins Camper. Gather we now into this space, this time when the wheel turns and the veil shatters. Gather we now to remember, to grieve, to prophesy, to complete our harvests before the long dark comes. Gather we now to tell the old stories and sing the old songs, to be as we have always been, the voice of our people eternal. Gather we now to celebrate that which was, that which is, and that which will be. Gather we now as we have always done. And if you would, please repeat after me. United by story, united by story, bound by love, bound by love. We spark this flame of our community. We spark this flame of our community. And if you are willing and able, please stand to join in our first hymn, number 1001, found in the teal hymnal. And please remain standing afterwards for the covenant. We unite in the bonds of kinship among all persons to promote human dignity and to increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power through worship, study, and service. Thank you.
Our story this morning is A Shelter for Sadness by Annie Booth and David Litchfield. Sadness has come to live with me, and I am building it a shelter. I am building a shelter for my sadness and welcoming it inside. I am giving it a space to sit or lie down, to curl up very, very small, or to be big as it can be, to run around or stand still, to be very, very noisy, or very, very quiet. In this shelter, my sadness can turn to the wall or look out the window. In the middle of the night or in the day, the windows will open to let sounds in or close to keep them out. The shelter I build for my sadness will have light from the sun or from the moon and stars. But the windows will have curtains my sadness can draw when it wants to, and light, if it wants, from candles or lamps. Lots and lots of light. Or no light at all. My sadness can sit in the darkness if it wants to, whatever it feels like. Because this is the shelter for my sadness, and it has a right to be there. And I will make my shelter strong, so that in winter, my sadness will be safe against the storms. But I will give it a little garden too, so that in spring, birds will come, build their nests, and green shoots will peek through the dark earth. Sometimes we will run into each other's arms and hug and cry and talk. And sometimes just sit next to each other, saying nothing. Sometimes I will be too busy to visit my sadness for a while, but that's okay too. I have built a shelter for my sadness, and it is safe inside, and nobody will hurt it. I can visit whenever I need to, whenever it calls to me. And whenever my sadness wants, it can come out of its shelter and hold my hand. And we will look out at the world and discover how beautiful it is together.
So the words of the first reading are adapted from Autumn Chant in The Harp Weaver and Other Poems. This is Autumn Chant by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Now the autumn shudders in the rose's root. Far and wide the ladders lean among the fruit. Now the autumn clambers up the trellised frame, and the rose remembers the dust from which it came. Brighter than the blossom on the rose's bough sits the wizened orange, bitter berry now. Beauty never slumbers, all is in her name, but the rose remembers the dust from which it came.
Good morning. My name is Leslie Pete. I'm one of the worship associates this morning. Unitarian Universalists occasionally forget that the root of our faith comes out of the Judeo-Christian heritage. While we may have been the heretic believers in an all-loving God, it is important to remember our Christian, pagan, Jewish, and Protestant ancestors have been honoring our dead for ages, with variations on beliefs around how the dead can teach the living. Originally, Christians and Romani people observed All Saints' Day on May 13th. Saints were important people who often could teach us and help humans long after they died. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III moved All Saints' Day to November 1st. Many historians believe the Church made the move so the observance would correspond with Samhain and other pagan fall festivals. It incorporated Samhain traditions into the holy days' activities. People have long been fascinated by the idea of their deceased loved ones being honored and sharing wisdom from the spirit world.
One group that blends these many beliefs and festivals are the Roma or Romani people. The Roma or Romani people who lean into the more supernatural beliefs around All Souls and All Saints' Days. Reverend Denise's ancestors were Roma. The Roma believe that a person's soul survives them and exists even after the body leaves this world. This can be seen in their extremely strong traditional belief in the souls of dead ancestors, mulo, or ghost of the dead, which the Roma consider go-betweens with God. According to their beliefs, the souls of the dead come back to the living, the good ones to visit their relatives and offer advice, settle accounts, and help the living.
Likewise, our Celtic ancestors and friends had a celebration at the end of the growing season. This celebration has continued and is carried on by many who follow Wicca. Many cultures believe in the healing power of nature and tuning in to the messages of those who have passed away. Remembering your loved ones, honoring their wisdom, and learning from our ancestors, both blood and chosen ancestors, is comforting, whether you believe in any of the spiritual or supernatural aspects of all these traditions. Some believe the spirits of our ancestors and pets who have died are very near us and may want to let us know that they are at peace. This is where the phrase, "the veil is thin," comes from, believing that the spirits of loved ones are on the other side of a veil. They know the spirits are always around, but during Samhain and All Souls' Day, the veil is even thinner.
We are all within the mystery of life, the mystery that some people call God, some people call the Holy Spirit, and some people call the spirit of life that creates and takes away all things. We are all connected to everything there is and ever was, for all come from the same stardust. We are all connected to our ancestors and our loved ones who have died, for we carry their memories. Today we celebrate all the festivals of All Souls and Samhain and All Saints. For some, this is a time when the mystical membrane that separates the living realm from that of the dead grows thin, and we can talk to our ancestors. As we enter the silence of meditation, listen at the veil. Remember your beloveds who have passed on. Ask yourself, what message would they give you? In a moment, we will strike the singing bowl. We will give you a minute to meditate on those messages from those who have passed on. Then we will release you by striking the bowl again. Mark Bellatini notes that the word grief serves as a handy abstraction rather than as an expression of anything precise. For everyone's grief is different, since it emerges from our own unique experiences of and relationships to the people we've known and lost. Robin Wall Kimmerer says, "The power of ceremony is that it marries the mundane to the sacred. The water turns to wine, the coffee to a prayer. The material and the spiritual mingle like grounds mixed with hummus, transformed like steam rising from a mug into the morning mist." Janice will play some music now. Today, we take pause to remember our beloveds through a ceremony of remembrance. In just a moment, I will invite you forward to bring a photo and light a candle on the altar from the common flame and speak the name of the beloved you wish to honor into our microphone here. As a congregation, we will respond with, "We will remember." You will come forward down the center aisle and line up to say the name into the microphone. Remember, you must be very close to the microphone for us to hear you. Then you will proceed to one of the altar tables where you can place a photo and/or light a candle. If you've forgotten your photo, you can still say the name of your beloved and light a candle, and our worship associates will assist you. Again, after you speak their names, we will respond with, "We will remember." And you can say more than one name at a time.
Our beloved husband and father, James Chickarelli.
We will remember.
Hi, Jerome McDonald from the Board of Trustees again, he, him. As we remember and honor our ancestors and the martyrs of our faith movement this morning, may we also remember their pact with the living and with the long reach of our congregation and our community. Remember that all souls must be fed who inhabit this earth. In addition to our regular offering, and you can see instructions for this on our screen, please come forward during the offertory with your high protein and other non-perishable gifts for our community partner POC and their mobile food pantry. This work is worth supporting. You will now receive, we will now receive our offerings, and thank you, and may what you give bring you joy. Now is the time in our service when we set aside to share the communal ritual of giving. Our congregation is funded entirely by pledges and stewardship and contributions from you, our beloved members and friends. Giving helps us feel more generous. If this is your first time worshiping with us, please let the basket pass you by. Your presence is gift enough for us, and offertory donations can be made by those of you at home by what you see on the screen.
Please be seated. Except for Tracy Bolin. The awesome Tracy Bolin, at the close of our service today, will lead a costume parade. So Tracy, wave your hand in the air in case they missed who you are. All of our young people who are costumed today, you should join Tracy in a parade. And parents, you may stand outside the narthex or right here in this narthex lobby and take pictures if you like. Thanks so much. Our closing words. For those who came before us, we offer gratitude and thanks. May their memories be a blessing. May we feel surrounded by their love. As we go forth from this time and place, let us be inspired by their courage, their wisdom, and their dreams. Let us honor them by doing the work of living boldly, loving mightily, and creating heaven on earth. Amen, and blessed be.